And now we are going to see the last topic of the chapter, that is subtraction of integers with the help of number line. You see, for understanding the concept of subtraction of integers, we need to know about additive inverse. What is additive inverse and how do we use these additive inverse to subtract the two given integers? You see, additive inverse means now, suppose any integer when it is given in negative form, any integer when it is given in negative form, that integer in its additive inverse will be considered as positive integer. Okay, suppose you see additive integer for -5 will be +5 or only 5. Additive inverse for -10 will be 10. Okay, additive inverse for -2 will be 2. So this is what we call it as additive inverse. Okay, and this concept of additive inverse we need to follow while doing subtraction of two integers. You see, for example, we have to solve the question, that is 6 minus 2. So here 6 do not have any sign. So when the number do not have any sign, we consider that number as the positive integer, right? And then you see this -2, this is already the negative integer. While we were doing addition, that time which formula we used to follow? If one integer is positive and other integer is negative, that time positive and negative together make up negative plus minus equal to minus. This formula we used to follow while we were doing addition. But now when we are asked to do subtraction of one positive and one negative integer, what we have to do is now the positive integer will remain positive, no doubt, and the negative integer, the integer which is negative, that integer will be converted into its additive inverse. Keep in mind, the negative integer will be converted into its additive inverse. So what is the additive inverse of -2? I told you minus sign will become positive while we are writing the additive inverse. Got it? So 6 plus 2 will be 8. Are you getting my point clear or not? So when we are given to do the subtraction of any two integers, that time the negative integer we will make it as a positive integer and then we will solve. Got it now? We'll just write its additive inverse and solve. Now if you see here, methods are given one by one, we'll discuss. So this was the question where we had one positive and one negative number. So when we have one positive number and one negative number, what do we need to do? We will just make the negative integer as positive. We will make this negative as positive, and then we know both the positive are plus only, like that. Now if you see this point, that is -5 minus 4, like this. Now pay attention to this carefully. Here this is your -5, 5 is having a minus sign, right? And 4 also has this minus sign. Now how to solve this? Pay attention. Your first integer, which is -5, that -5 will remain as it is. Okay, and the integer which we have to subtract from this -5, that integer we will make as additive inverse. Okay, so when are we making the additive inverse? When we are given with the two minus together. Clear? This -5 will remain as -5 only, no doubt, because it do not have here one more minus now. When two minus sign were there, then together it would make one plus sign. Okay, but now we have here only -5, so it will remain -5 only. But when we are given with two negative signs together, those two negative together make up your one positive sign. Got it clear? And thus -4 will be written as +4. And then what will be your answer? Minus plus, we know that is minus, so 1 will come. What sign we will put? -1. I hope you all are getting this thing what I'm explaining here. Once again I'll tell, when we are given with two negative integers to subtract. Okay, when we are given with two negative integers to subtract, what do we do is now the negative integer which is only one, which has only one minus sign, that will be written as it is, and the integer which has minus sign and which we have to do subtract, so minus minus become plus and we write here 4. Got it now? And rest of the steps are same, minus plus is minus and sign of the bigger number. Clear this thing? So when we are, you see here, the 6 is already positive, so this is remained as it is, and this minus minus we did as plus. Similarly, minus 5 will remain as it is, minus minus will consider as plus. Now, if we see a question like this, you see, you are given with plus 3 from minus 3. Now pay attention to this question carefully. We have to do subtraction of this plus 3 from this minus 3. You see, from means what? This side's integer is written first, right? And from, we'll put one minus sign also, and this plus 3 we will write here. Are you getting this or not? The integer which is given after this from, that we will write first. Minus sign we will put for subtraction, and this plus will come here. Now, this minus do not have any other number, therefore this will be written as minus 3 only. Now you see, this is minus and this is plus. So this minus plus will be considered as minus 3. Are you getting this clear or not? Like this we will solve. Always keep in mind, for subtraction, the subtraction sign and the second integer's sign together we take, and whatever is the formula, accordingly we will write the other integer here. Okay, now minus minus is plus, so 3 plus 3 is your 6, and sign we will put off minus. Getting this clear or not? So when we are given with minus sign, this minus sign and the integer which, the sign which is followed by that integer, together we will make and solve. For doing subtraction, we follow this method. Addition, it is very simple. Only this minus and plus. Minus plus is minus. Therefore, we will do the subtraction, get the 0 like that. Right now? But when we are given, when we are asked to do the subtraction, that time your middle minus and the sign which is in the question, accordingly we will solve.